Welcome to Shadows of Dawn.
And welcome to Shadows of Dawn. This is our new campaign getting started, or I should say, our new grand adventure. This is A Time of Troubles. And this is the first session beginning with Death of a Baron. Unlike other campaigns, this one can have as few as one player as we do tonight, and as many as, well, probably six. I'll probably cut it off there. So, as we start this campaign, bring our player to the board. We are in the town of Fellhammer, where Bran Silverhill, the high priest of the Church of Selûne, is working in his church. Just another day in Fellhammer. He's tired after the morning of dealing with the disease. The lines have been long. Spells are mostly tapped. And it is in this afternoon that there is a cry and a ruckus outside. Extra! Extra! Read all about it! One of the town criers is coming around, carrying news. The news is unfortunate news, however, as the those who were in Glissondale probably heard it first. It took a little bit for it to travel to Fellhammer, but they find out that it was September 22nd when an accident occurred. The extra declares that Sheriff Baron Daniel Warwick was killed in a fiery explosion. As you kind of grab one of these little articles of flyers, and like one of your acolytes brings it to you, flipping through it. The story goes that while visiting Glissondale prior to the fall festival, the Baron was taking some stock of wine barrels and ale, presumably for the upcoming fall festival, when the building he was in suddenly exploded in a ball of fire. 14 people were injured or killed, including the Baron. Most were practically incinerated from the explosion, but the ones on the outskirts were anywhere from wounded to just severely dismembered from the blast. There is a sketch of the building exploding, and what is interesting is the article identifies the Glamour Mountain Wine and Ale Distribution Company as who the Baron was dealing with. A small distribution company that looked like it was about to make its debut at the Fall Festival. So, with news in hand, our adventurer Bran Silverhill has decided. So go ahead and say hello, Bran. Make sure you're
Hello, hello, hello.
working. Our adventurer Bran Silverhill has decided to travel from Fellhammer to Glissondale to do what?
Uh, well, being too enamored of wine and ale, as I can often sometimes find myself, sometimes maybe, uh, the prospect of not having enough wine and ale at the fall festival is, the innocent, innocent lives that were lost, was tragic indeed, and needs investigating. But I figure there could be a second attack, so might as well try to figure out as much as I can about this distribution company. So I'm going to look in to see if I can locate their offices and or distribution warehouses, and maybe try a sample or two,
Got it.
if it's possible in town. Just because if they're distributing the best, well then maybe competition was trying to take them out, but you just can't know for sure until you sample it for yourself. So, and then obviously while I'm there, I'll help the Tremblewinds healing and
Valid point. Valid
Can-
point.
caring for the wounded. Of course, that's my first priority, really.
Uh-huh.
But,
So your couple of days travel to Glissondale are uneventful, and you arrive a few days later. As you do, Glissondale is a little more, being a city, a little more, how should we say, there's more people moving about during the during the Yellow Death than there are in Fellhammer. So you see more faces on the streets. But for Glissondale, it's you've been here before, and you can definitely see the difference. The Yellow Death is still in full effect, but that's not what you're here for. And Bran is here to find out information. So the first thing Bran would probably need to do is to gather some information. But how is Bran going to do that?
yeah. So let me see here. Need some notes. So I believe we have the option to hire a helper to gather rumors.
What is your current lifestyle? In fact, why don't you make a lifestyle payment for today, and it is wealthy and above, you can get hired help.
I know I've hired help before in Glissondale, so I'm fairly certain.
So lifestyle payment, if for today, for wealthy, would be 4 gold. If you wanted to go to aristocratic, then that would be 10 gold.
Trying to find does it show our lifestyle on our?
Currently, that's like your long term, but here while you're visiting, you can adjust it. So the nice thing about aristocratic is there's a higher plus on gather information checks than there is on wealthy.
Yeah. Man, geez, it's been a while. I'm looking for the info on that, but yeah, let's go with aristocratic, I guess.
All right,
now.
10 gold. So
10 gold.
the nice thing about aristocratic is rumors have nice bonuses. Gather information is plus, and your hired help can assist you on gathering information, which would give you advantage on the roll.
So yeah, so let's let me get before I forget. Gosh, where's the currency? Did they change this?
Inventory. No,
There we go.
same place.
10 gold. Before I forget. Okay. Yes. So I wanted to hire help to gather rumors, and I guess they'll assist me
Gather information, you mean?
gather information as well.
Alrighty,
So they can gather rumors by themselves, right? Like what?
they can do.
Or do they have to come with me?
It depends. So if you're looking, there's rumors and there's information. Rumors can be either about the town itself, or it can be just rumors within the valley. Those can vary and be very widespreading. Gather information is going to be something you're looking for information on, such as
Yes.
a business or an operation, trying to find out where it might be or what people have heard about it.
Yeah, so probably gather information then. So I guess I'll have
Alrighty.
him assist me on
Okay.
gather information. I'm looking for anything about the distributor, any recent dealings
Got it.
with their customers or vendors, and any unusual sightings, things like that. Any
Yep.
deliveries, good or bad, that they may have had recently.
Alrighty. You
things
make
like that.
a charisma check, and you have it at advantage. And, well, let me see real quick. Let's see. Let me just check your renown.
Just a straight charisma saving throw.
No, it's not a saving throw. This would be based
Oh,
off
just a charisma check.
your attribute. However, let me check your renown real quick to see if you have any bonuses.
Oh yeah.
in Glissondale. And it does. You have a 12 renown in Glissondale, which gives you an additional +1 on gathering info. So you have advantage. And what is Brand's charisma? Is it a 10?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the good news is because you are aristocratic, that is a +3, and because of your Glissondale renown, that is an extra +1. You have a +4, and make a charisma check with advantage.
So I'll just roll straight and then add 4 to it.
Well, you roll it at advantage,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
So
just
here we go.
right click
Just
on
roll.
your charisma box.
Oh
There you go.
God, that's horrible. Inspiration.
All righty, go use an inspiration. Double.
Dear Lord, 2 4s. Okay, that's better.
Oh.
So that's a 21.
There we go. So, after you spend the better part of your morning going moving around and checking things, you come up with some of the following. You have heard that. Hey, thank you for following. Whoever's following. You have heard. Hey, Doss, much appreciated. And it looks like the Marquis is in the house. Welcome, welcome. You have heard that, well, a couple of things, actually. You have heard that it is a distribution company that is not so much, there's not much known about it. It's a new company. In fact, there does not seem to be an establishment where they have distributed to in Glissondale directly. As you've checked several of the bars and taverns, and no one has directly done business with them. However, it is brought to your attention, and I will post this. I will post this in your Discord.
And that
is
no known business dealings in Glissondale. That's all we know, right? Not.
Yeah, there's no establishment in Glissondale that has had this company as a distribution.
But
company.
if they had distributed somewhere else in the valley, we don't know that either.
That's
It's-
other
it's
part
not
of
a
your
no, but
information.
we just.
You're
Okay.
getting ahead of me here. Hold on.
Okay, sorry, I'm reading it.
However,
Sorry.
in order to procure ale, they would have had to have registered with the Merchants Guild. So, there is a Merchants Guild in Glissondale. A guild house. Let's see. Let's see here. And I will direct you to the guild house. The Merchants Guild. Unless you can find it. Unless you are savvy enough to find it on your own. But I will help. Look for the big glowing ball. See it?
Yeah, I don't know how I'd find that. Tab doesn't seem to show the.
Tab does show. You just have to get really close to the buildings because I actually have icon signs. It says Merchants
go.
Guild.
I knew that.
But here. Your brand mini should be out there in the city somewhere.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, you got it. Look at
Should
that.
be it.
Boom. There you go. You have arrived at the Merchants Guild.
All right, so it's my turn.
It's always your turn.
I'm the only one here. Is this soldier standing outside? Is that
He's just a
that
town militia.
just a town militia?
He just kind of looks at you like, "What's up?" I mean, it's a lot of like the guild halls. They may hire a militia to just stand guard if there's any trouble, but they're not there to stop you from entering or anything like that because it's a business.
So do I know any general business, MO or operating principles of this Merchants Guild? Do they have am I gonna walk in and talk to reception? Or do I know anything about how they operate?
Brand has a little bit of understanding about it. When procuring large items, let's say like your sacrament wine or something like that, a lot of the people that you're getting it from or buying it from are one of two people. They're either going to be very local, independent type people, like a farmer's market. You'll go to the Fellhammer market and get it from them. But when you're dealing with things that are larger, like I have this party I got to do, or I have this festival, then you may go to a guild hall, or you would go to maybe a tavern. Now, taverns deal with guild halls all the time, and that's how the goods are shipped from basically town to town, city to town. Is the Merchants Guild. They are the ones that were involved in setting up the large caravans in the Saren Valley for the shipping and supplying of goods. Basically, you can expect somebody in there, if you're looking to procure quantities of things or information to get them to where you want, a Merchants Guild Hall is where you're going to go.
And remind me, when is the fall festival relative to today? Like, how far away is it?
Next month, October.
Next month, October. End of October, or?
Yes, it's close to the end of October. There's just a couple of weeks so that travel can move about before the big winter comes. Remember, the fall festival is the culmination of trade in the valley before the winter kind of shuts all the roads down.
Right. I remember a big fight happened at the last fall festival.
Not the last one. It was that was several years back, Grant.
Oh, yeah, that was several years ago.
Been a few winters now.
Okay. Well, I will open the door here.
Alrighty. Open the door. Inside.
Zoom in. Yeah, zoom in here or fix my.
You can adjust yours however you want. I got the camera for the screen.
Yeah, there we go. Turn it this way. I can see.
So, as you come in, there is a fairly well-dressed man behind the counter. He looks up as you enter, kind of straigens his collar a little bit. Hey, good day, Master Dwarf. Welcome to the Merchants Guild. How may I be of service?
Well, hello there, good sir. I am High Priest Dr. Brand Silverhill of Church of Selune from yonder Fellhammer.
Now, what brings you to Glissendown, Master Dwarf?
Oh, well, most unfortunate news. I heard that there's been an accident here in town.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, I was hoping to procure some wine for the sacraments next month for the fall festival, but I believe I've heard that it may not be possible now.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned. I was just come to check and see if it's a total loss. Or...
I can assure you that getting a Master Dwarf his sacraments is we are quite capable within the guild. There are many distribution centers. In fact, it was, from my understanding, no major center was involved in the accident. I felt it, you know. It was a thunderous boom. Shook the walls. Yes, I thought I was going to lose a picture or a painting, but fortunately it was distant enough, and only it was a rumble.
Oh, well, one hears many rumors. Whether the truth is among them is unclear, but it was my understanding that one of the distributors was completely wiped out. That, what was the name? There's Glamorous, Glamour Mountain, Glamour Mountain, I think it was. Yeah, it's a new distributor. I was told they were completely wiped out, and I was most interested to meet them.
Well, let me see what I can find here. You say the name of the company. He kind of goes to a book on the big thick book. He pulls off of a shelf and opens it up. What was the name of the distribution company you said?
Glamour Mountain.
Glamour
Wine
Mountain.
and ale.
Let's see here. Glamour Mountain. No, Glamour. No, that's just. Here we go. Huh. Yeah, look at this. That is new. Oh, the company is only about 2 months old, I see. Looking at the paperwork here. Yes, I have a copy. It looks as if, well, that's interesting. This is a transport copy, originally founded in Solomir. That's not unusual. Not unusual, especially if one is a distribution company. They want to make sure they have it on file so that any of the buyers can come to the town of residence and make sure that they are certified by the Merchants Guild. So, what I have, what is unusual is I don't see a headquarters. Could have been an oversight, but I'm afraid that company does not have a location, and I'm not seeing any contact or vendor name here on the registry. Here, you can have a look. He kind of shows you the book so you can see for yourself. And indeed, you can see that the stamp of the original filing comes from Solomir. Not unusual. It's filed on record here in Glissendale, which only means that the distribution would have Merchant Guild support in both Solomir and Glissendale. And where there should be like a headquarters or, a room for an address or contact information, there is none. It's completely blank. Says, I'm very sorry. It must be a small company if it only started a couple months ago. In fact, I've been in the Merchants Guild for quite some time, a good 8 years now, and I've never heard of it. Not unusual, probably to make a big bang at the fall festival. Ooh, I probably shouldn't have said big bang. Ooh, that's a faux pas on my part. Take no offense. That's perfect. Yeah, it's just quite odd. Do you know, perhaps, who the ale was coming from?
Well, I must admit, my acolyte set this up, was making preliminary arrangements, and I did not get the information, the details yet. I'm still a month away, so I thought I had time.
I see. Behind you, you hear your hired help. One of the people you've hired to help you find information. High Priest Silverhill. If you don't beg my pardon, sir, there is a man out here who I believe might have some extra information for us.
Oh. I'm sorry, did he introduce himself as guild member?
No, this is your hired help.
No, but the guy I'm talking to.
Oh, yeah, he's a member of the Merchants Guild.
Well, I didn't get his name.
Bob.
Excuse me, Bob. I believe I may be able to answer that question. Would you excuse me for just a moment?
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll follow my...
Pity I couldn't help you any further on that, but I do wish you the best of luck.
Before I go, just in case I miss you again, I still need wine for my sacraments. Who else might, any other distributors I might talk to procure what I need for the
yes. In fact, I will definitely pull a list for you. If you can give me 15 minutes, let's say.
Sure. I will be, I think, just outside.
Very good. He kind of, gets to working on some of the papers and stuff.
Cool.
Your hired help has indicated a man outside who has some elven traits. The man, he's like your hired help is just basically an errand kind of person. He's like, I was talking to this man. He's a courtesan of the Longleaf family. That's right. I hear you were asking some questions about this uh, Glamour Mountain Distribution Company.
Yes, yes, indeed.
He kind of
Are
looks
you
both ways down the
seeking
road. He
help?
says, "Perhaps we should speak over here, away from prying ears," as he just kind of moves down the street a little bit.
All right, I'll follow.
Eastlander does not appear to be armed with any weapons or anything. He does kind of move away from some of the crowds. He says, he kind of looks this way and that. "Ah, yes. I am Eldon Wynn. I am a courtesan of the Longleaf family. I remember a man from that distribution company. He was inquiring about purchasing ales and wine from the Longleaf family, but it was rejected. This was about a month ago. He seemed rather odd. While dressed well enough, he spoke with, well, he seemed very pushy and too confident. His offer was rejected due to his company not being well known. I believe the man came from Snowshore Harbor by the southern draw of his language. He did have this on him, which he gave to the family. And he takes out what looks like a business card. Glamour Wine and Ale Distribution Company. Valley distribution of fine drink and at unbeatable prices. The card itself, let's see here. I'm going to have to... The card itself has a unique symbol below it. 2 black diamonds side by side. And I will snip a picture of this and put this.
Just a symbol that I'm familiar with.
I don't know. Are you?
Well, if we've never seen it before, then didn't know. I can't remember which insignias we've seen before.
There you go. So this is something you could take, and there is a thread under Time of Trouble's info called PC Clues and Evidence, and if you wish to share that, you could share this in that thread. But he hands it to you. He says, "This is all he left behind, but I do believe the O'Brien family was next on the list, and he had made a remark about if Longleafs weren't going to be involved, then the O'Briens would be." Says, "I'm afraid I don't have any more information." You know that your helper probably paid him a little bit already, which is part of your aristocratic lifestyle.
Yeah. Did he say that the man was sure that if the Lions would?
He doesn't know.
Thought they would.
He doesn't know. It was basically like a, well, if you're not going to deal with me, then the O'Briens will. You know, kind of a threat kind of thing.
So that could have been
Could have been a bluff. Could have been a posturing.
Okay. Did the man leave a name?
He did not. I did not catch his name.
Interesting. Perhaps he left his name with the O'Briens. So, if I may ask, I know that my helper here has already assisted you for the information, but is there anything else, any other motivations you have, or did this man offend you in any way, or are you looking to be apprised of any information that I find out, or?
If anything else comes to mind, I would be tempted to pass it on. But as this was a month ago, and the, how should we say, the passing was brief. Basically, he didn't meet him for very long. You know, he was involved in kind of collecting the person's information. He met him briefly, but after the, you know, basically the offer was rejected, he didn't have any more contact with this person.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate the information. One last question. are you in a position to comment on which distributor the Longleaf family will be using?
Ah, well, the Longleaf family uses several distributors. There's different ones that run each town. Mostly for Emdell, it'll be the Fairmonts. But there's lots of families in Glissondale who are trade well known, or well
Yeah.
known for their trade.
Well, the reason I ask is because the seems the most present explanation for why you might eliminate a new distributor is to eliminate competition. So, if something was if someone was plotting against this newcomer, it might be good to know who might have the motivation for such a thing.
Indeed. I mean, that's quite extreme, though. I mean, the ruckus it caused. I mean, I heard it clear from the Manor Estate. I mean, we're far enough away where we didn't feel it, but we heard that it was quite terrible. I mean, why? Why bother with it? It's such a small company. The man did not seem like he was anyone's particular competition, if you know what I mean. If you're that small
Interesting.
and just trying to break in, what would a big company be afraid of?
Interesting. Okay. Well, no, thank you very much, sir.
You are
You
welcome.
did not have to come forward, and the insight is very much appreciated. Here is a few extra trinkets for your collection to help you through the rest of the week.
He thanks you, and
Give him
he
some gold. And then, and one last thing. If I do find anything else, how should I pass on the information to you?
well, I mean, the Longleaf family, of course.
All right.
It's one of the noble families in Glissondale.
I do have connections with the Tremblewinds. Perhaps I can pass on a note from my family to yours.
You're a Trimblewind? He kind of looks at you as like a dwarf. Like, you're a Trimblewind?
Not me per se, but I've had some adventures with a couple of them.
Oh, I see.
Good chaps. Very good. As far as nobles go, you know.
The
very good nobles.
Saren Defenders. Fascinating.
You may recognize my name from that list of adventurers. Yes.
So you're one of the Saren Defenders. Well, look at that. A celebrity in our midst. Well, quite the pleasure,
Well,
sir.
and now you know a little bit more why I may be interested in an attack on such a fair city.
Of course. I mean, ever since the Countess was rumored to have been killed by an adventurer, or so the Duke says. I mean, of course, all the noble families do have an ear. Some favor adventuring more than others. The Duke is not a fan. But the Longleafs, well, actually, truth be told, one of our own. Though it is from, how should we say, a distended relationship. There's the noble Roger Longleaf, son of Antellum, and, well, another, who is one of the adventurers. Unfortunately, he is, well, how should we say, quite indisposed in Crossdale under the lockdown. Has not been able to return home since the Yellow Death started. But at least we know he's safe.
Well, that's something. Not something you're always guaranteed in this life.
Very true. Oh, I must excuse because I am on my daily duties, and I have interrupted the Longleaf time long enough. But it was a pleasure to meet you, sir.
And you likewise. And since you've recognized me, perhaps another trinket for you. Maybe keep that identity between yourself and the Tremblewinds and me.
Very well.
Can't let everybody know I'm asking questions.
Indeed. I will. And he takes it and he hurries off.
I'm gonna take another
Alrighty.
gold out of my.
So,
There it is. I am wealthy. I knew it was on here somewhere.
I got money somewhere.
Aristocratic. Yeah.
So I did paste the business card you now have in the Discord chat, along with the information that he told you. The card itself is kind of a thicker stock than paper, a little more rigid. It appears to be just kind of a white, very simply made. Has kind of a little black bordering, but it's interesting.
Indeed.
Give me an Arcana check or a calligraphy check if you're skilled with calligrapher's tools.
I'm not.
No, give me an Arcana
I have
check.
brewer's tools. What was the first one? Arcana?
Arcana.
Am I doing this at advantage with the helper or just?
No,
Okay. 13.
that's fine. There is something interesting about kind of the scent and the texture. You're not quite what it is. Something.
The scent.
Something about this, well, to call it paper would be a little, to the side. It resembles paper, but it's like a scent about it. Perhaps it's in the ink, or can't quite put your finger on it.
If I turn it over on the back, is there any indication that it could be a reused piece of parchment from something else, or is it all blank
Nope,
and flat?
it is nice and clean on the back.
Let's see, would Bran know anybody in town who might be able to inspect this?
No,
To
it's a big city.
help and
There's all sorts of shops and vendors.
well, let's start. I guess we'll go back in and collect the names from the Merchant Guild.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's easily done, as he will give you several names of distributors. It's all really about how much wine you want and where you want it from, and then the distributors can get it there. So
okay, and I'll just I'll let him know that this business card seems to have been passed on to a colleague of mine. Does this look familiar to you? Do you know anything about this? Paper seems odd, and it has a weird scent.
he looks at it.
Does this strike you as anything?
He's like, I've seen cards like this before. People use it to identify their businesses. I believe they call them business cards.
Interesting.
Like
Well, thank you very much again for the list. I'll be on my way.
alrighty. So, what will Bran like to do next?
All right. Well, let's see. I'm looking through the map of town here to see what stores we have available. It's been a while since I've been in town.
Depends on what you're looking for.
Sorry.
What you're trying to do, I should say.
Well, I'm between going to inspect the business card and the Bryan family. I believe I forget how you make contact with a noble family,
Yeah,
but I
you
know there's a
can
process.
walk up to the manor house and request an audience.
Don't think I've met any of them before. Brewing, shipping, and carpentry. Art, brewing, art. Yeah, I guess, let's go request a meeting with the O'Brien family.
Alrighty. Going to the O'Brien family.
And if I have to name drop the Wins and anywhere in there, I might do.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. As Bran sets off, getting his directions to the O'Brien manor and estate. And just get you dropped in here. Takes a couple hours crisscrossing the town. Everything is basically as you kind of, remember and expect with the Yellow Death. A lot of sick caskets lined here and there. You can tell the death toll is rising here, as well as in Fellhammer and across the valley. As you approach, let me pull you in. The O'Brien family manor is tucked away in Glissondale. As you approach, there's a low brick wall, not super high. A couple of sconces burn out front. You can see there are probably hired militia as guards. Most of the noble houses, hire these militia as extras, as guards. Some may be permanent guards. You're never really sure. They look like militia for the most part, except they will have a tabard that kind of marks them as the O'Brien family.
And they're like when they're not on duty here, are they still town militia?
They might be, yeah. If they dual service, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like having an off-duty police officer as a guard, So as you approach, they halt. The O'Brien family estate. State your name and purpose.
Afternoon, good sir. I am High Priest Dr. Bran Silverhill of the Saren Defenders. Friend to the Tremblewinds, the mighty Tremblewinds.
I see. And your
seek
purpose.
An audience with His Honor, Mr. O'Brien.
I see. Well, let me see if he's available. And one of them he kind of walks back down. As the guard from the door kind of walks forward, he obviously passed the message between the two. And he walks into the house. And this one, he's like, it'll be a moment. Go ahead and give me a percentile roll. As we go ahead, take a look. Let's see, where is Bran? And I'm looking at, 19% chance that you get a direct audience with a noble here in Glissondale. Not too bad.
4.
4. He nails it. Wow, good job. All righty. So, as
I excel at rolling low.
it's like the one roll in D&D that you want to roll low on is the percentile rolls. So, the guard nods and waves towards the front guards. He's like, "It looks like it's your lucky day. Someone will see you, Mr. Silverhill. Please." And he kind of points you towards the open door. Coming in, there is a courtesan you just stepped on.
Oh, sorry, I can't see
I know.
I gotta turn my camera around here.
Hello there, Mr. Bran Silverhill. Yes, it would be just a moment, but it does appear that you will be seen. If you would,
Wonderful.
If you would follow me, please. And you can tell it's a noble courtesan. They have these little symbols. She kind of walks up the stairs. And begs you to follow.
Yeah. I'm struggling to keep my camera the right level here?
It is a skill. Camera skill 101.
All right, there we go. All right, I think I'm good.
And she stops there. She knocks on the door. It's Mr. Silverhill of the Saren Defenders. Let him in. She reaches over and she opens the door.
Because I'm gonna need to know his name, and I do know his name. This is
You can always
Baron
tab.
Connor.
Yep. Yeah. Mr. Silverhill.
Oop, I'm on the wall again.
Mr. Silverhill, get off my walls.
Forgive me. I've already had one or two today. Just you gotta get your energy up after you get up in the morning.
A fine large dog is kind of sitting next to him, just kind of very obediently, just paying attention. As Connor looks, you can see the papers on his desk have been kind of scuttled around. There's papers lying here and there. He's like, I have wondered if I might see one of you. I wasn't sure that I was going to grant an audience. But seeing as
really?
you are a member of the Saren Defenders who traveled with the Tremblewinds, I will give you some time. Pray tell, Mr. Silverhill, what can I do for you?
Wow, thank you for the meeting. And do you refer to Baron as like his lordship or something?
Yeah, Lord.
Okay.
I mean, Lord is kind of a generic title, or you can just say Baron, as a proper term.
Well, I'll make sure to address him properly. Thank you for the audience, and it's much appreciated. I just happened to be checking in preparations for the Fall Festival, and I heard the news, terrible news, innocent loss of life here in Glissondale.
Indeed, yes. Quite a tragedy.
Yes, indeed, yeah, and the ale as well. I
Well,
understand you are.
He actually gives a small chuckle on what is otherwise a very stern face. As the O'Briens are known for, having some good ale.
Right. Being brewers yourself, I'm sure you can share my concern that someone might attack. It seems, at least from my information, that someone seems to have possibly attacked a new distributor here in town. It seems like that was,
Indeed.
at least as far as I understand, the sheriff was investigating their stock for the festival.
Yes. Well,
Very concerning.
no point in beating around the bush. The O'Brien family is acutely aware of the current scrutiny. This small distribution company, they had brokered a deal with the family for 10 barrels of ale. We sold them just above wholesale price. King's ale, indeed. Some of our good stock, but I will say that it was from a batch. It was a little to the left of center. Small company, you see. They're trying to start up. They're not going to get our best. And it was some stock that we hadn't moved. We brokered a deal with this company, and, there is an official inquiry now taking place. And the O'Brien family adamantly condemns the act of violence and denies any involvement.
Well, that's interesting bits of information. Well, I assume some sort of investigation, especially with the death of a sheriff, high-ranking officer.
Yes, no one would want to see a noble of anyone injured, more or less killed. The O'Brien family has extended full condolences to Imdell and the Warwicks. In fact, the fall festival, we will be donating for free a large portion of ale as a token of our deepest sincerity and heartfelt condolences.
Well, not a finer act could you be expected to do. Well done, sir. Good form.
As for this distribution company, I would leave it to say that the O'Brien family has officially concluded all business and future endeavors, as they will no longer see anything to do with our heir. And I hope they rot.
Well, I come here today because I'm to assure you that I'm not involved with the official investigation. I'm simply a concerned amateur on the topic of the wasting of ale. And
Indeed,
not interested in
sir.
seeing any more lost.
For a member of the
I-
well-known Saren Defenders, you are no amateur.
Well, you flatter me. I did happen to hope, well, I hoped, being a new distributor, a good price on some sacrament wine for what I'm sure will be a presence of our church of Solune in the fall festival to bless and heal anyone who needs it. I'm afraid it looks like we won't be doing it with them. So that's part of my investigation too, is just to see if there might be anybody else fill the shoes.
Okay.
And
So
we will need.
adding some of this information. Let's see, meeting with O'Brien family. Adding this to the Discord for you. You can. So all of this I'm adding, you can kind of regurgitate it into clues and evidence if you wish. So this just kind of sets out that they're aware of the scrutiny. You did manage, the nobles were not going to meet with anyone, but you managed to surpass that, being just in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, you would have had to have talked to the courtesan. And that they, and in the act of violence. And of course, yes, he can set you up. He can have his courtesan who's patiently waiting kind of at the door. Their back is turned so that they don't appear to be. Again, his courtesan can set you up with a well-known distributor and to get some O'Brien ale sent to you. Unless you have any other questions.
Just one.
Oh.
Is it anywhere in the realm of possibility that? Well, first of all, do you? I'd like to ask him if he has any other distributors, like if he's using more than one.
Oh yes, yeah. There's different distributors that go to different towns. There's, when you're a brewer like this and you're shipping all over the valley, there's multiple distributors you're going to be using.
Is there any chance, in any realm of possibility, that one of those distributors you use could feel ill of you doing business with a new client, or perhaps make any threats against the O'Brien family recently?
That would be the case, except for the fact that it wasn't the best of the ale, you see. I mean, this was, how shall we say, the extra stuff. I was not going to waste any of the really good high-end quality on such a small little upstart. But the man seemed perfectly fine with that. I told him I'd give him this one chance against my better judgment. And he seemed perfectly happy with just a mere 10 barrels. Kind of a strange man, actually.
Strange how?
Yeah. He seemed a little cocky, quite confident. Kind of dressed well enough. I believe he came from the south, given his accent.
As
No,
far as Snowshore Harbor, perhaps?
yes, indeed. You know how they speak with a certain little, oh, I can't do it, yarry thing.
Yes, I'm familiar. Yes, yes.
But he did leave something, though. He left this card. He kind of goes over and files through things, and he brings another business card. Kind of hands it to you. Like, you keep it if you like. I'm not going to have any more use for this. The exact same copy
All right.
of business card.
Exact same card.
Yeah. I mean, well, not the exact same one, but it's identical.
Okay.
He was a healthy man, by all looks and things. Didn't take much into stock other than he's kind of a fast talker. But yeah, poor bastard probably got caught in the blast too. I would say. Any man starting a small company like that would want to oversee one of their first transactions, you would think.
Yes, that's interesting. I maybe shall inquire about anyone who matches his description amongst the injured or dead.
Yeah.
Did he leave a name with you by chance?
Nah, you know, I never did catch his name. It's odd.
Interesting. It is
So,
odd.
it's not.
He did say he was strange.
That's not like me, actually. You can see the concern on his face at that. It's like I should have gotten his name. Like I should have known his name, but I can't seem to recall it for whatever reason.
Sorry, I'm thinking of another question. I had another question for him. Can't think of it now. Okay. Well, I appreciate the time.
No problem. If there won't be anything else, then I must get back to sorting through some of this mess.
Yes, indeed. And in a sort of very knowing and leading him on sort of way, I'll say, I do hope you didn't lose any of your good ale in the blast.
Oh, absolutely not. It was, in fact, from my understanding, it was kind of a rundown warehouse, actually. It wasn't even a major storage facility, as I understand it. Low rent distribution company indeed.
Interesting. So it got the worst of the ale, and it was blown up, and only his ale was blown up. Almost like maybe you just would you be surprised to find out if it was an inside job?
These days, nothing would surprise me.
Well, thank you once again for your time, sir.
Of course. All right. This way, Mr. Silverhill, if you would follow me.
Switch back over.
She basically, leads you back out around the stairs.
Oh, there it goes.
Thank you. I trust you can see your way out.
Yes, indeed. Point of interest, did you meet the man who came
No,
to arrange the new
I did not.
distribution?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Ah, sneaky fellow, isn't he?
Yeah, the O'Brien family has many courtesans. I just was not privy to that conversation.
Well, thank you very much for your assistance today.
You're welcome, Mr. Silverhill. Watch out for the door. Oh!
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty. As you leave the O'Brien estate, where would you like to off to next? Or is there anything else you
Well,
can think of?
he didn't give me any where to follow up, did he?
No.
Just recognizing.
What are the only clues that you have that you perhaps don't know anything about?
What's that?
What are the only clues that you have left that you don't have any information on?
Business card.
Ah, business card. We'll
Hmm.
tell. We might be able to discern what that might be about.
You said no known dealings with any pubs in town.
Nope. You've checked. You've checked the likes of the Golden Lion, the Drunken Dragon, the Wooden Tankard, Three Stags Inn, um, Inn and Tavern, and none of them have heard of that distribution company. So you're fairly certain that there's no big, those would have been the first places you hit when you were gathering your information. It's like, who brings you ale? Who ships it here? Have you ever heard of this company? None.
Yeah.
So those were all
So
dead ends.
I've got a piece of paper that smells funny. And what was the other thing about it?
It feels off. Just something about it.
feels-
Yeah, something about it just feels different. Smells a little different than like parchment or paper.
Hmm.
There are things like the magic shops. There are.
Yeah. My hired help still with me?
Oh yeah, you have it all day.
Okay. So I'll confer with my hired help. I have a couple of options here. I suspect this parchment could possibly be magical in nature.
Ah,
Might need a expert magician who
Well.
might be able to, or at least someone who knows of magical items who might be able to tell me more about this.
well, there is that one wizard. I believe his name is Brian Warner. He runs that ye old magic shop. I believe he was an ex-adventurer, in fact, from the Fellhammer Five.
Yes, indeed, indeed. What about the Bounty Hunters Guild? Do you think they might know anything about strange? I showed him the card. Does this look like anything you think might be tied to a known criminal? Or
Doesn't look like any bounty poster I've ever seen. You can usually find the stuff on the wanted boards.
well, very well. We have one way forward. Ye old magic shop 'tis.
All right. I can take you there quickly. Alrighty.
Uh,
Alright. As you travel, it's getting a little later in the afternoon.
I think on my way there, I'll send a sending to Bevier.
Okay. What is your
I-
sending going to
I remember
say?
hearing he's an investigator for hire here in Glissondale.
He is indeed. He actually works very closely with. He's brought in quite a bit on a lot of their policing duties involved with the militia.
The quick sending just to
Okay.
let him know that I'm in town investigating the Glamour Mountain Inn distributor and headed for ye old magic shop.
Ah. Very good. Welcome to Glissondale. If you do come across anything, by all means, stop by and give me the information. I can help coordinate between parties.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
So,
Just sort of
Right up the little
just
white-
hoping to let him know in case he knows anything since we've adventured together.
yep. Right up the white steps there. Yeah, there's a little sign for Ye Old Magic Shop.
I appear to be waiting on GM.
Ah, well, as you appear to be waiting, let me rectify that with a Ye Old Summoning. There we go.
click me here. Yeah, I was not dropped anywhere near my character. Where is it?
Click on it. Click on your picture at the top. Should take you right to it.
Oh, I got that. I'm just trying to find the ye old magic shop.
Oh, just up the white steps.
Oh, up these white steps here.
Yep.
That's what you were saying. There it is. Ye
After
old
his
magic
days
shop.
adventuring with the Fellhammer Five, Brian Warner has decided to open his magic
Oh,
shop.
there we go. Right click. Right click the door.
Right click. Wait. Hello, good sir. This elf sitting behind the this elf named Brian Warner, sitting behind a messy table of supplies, obviously brushing, looks like a bag of chips or popcorn or something from his shirt. How can I help you today?
I am High Priest Dr. Bran Silverhill.
Ah, Bran from the Sarah Defenders.
Yes.
Ah,
You had taken up residence and opened a shop,
Well,
and I just simply must see it.
well, thank you. Welcome to my humble abode. I was just cleaning up, and you look around. He was not cleaning up.
Yes. My church needs much cleaning myself.
Yeah, I know. It gets busy, right? Busy all the time.
Yes.
Oh, what can I do for you here, ye old magic shop?
Well, it just so happens that I have parchment. Yeah, 2 parchments really. Came to town to make acquaintances with a couple of folks, and I was interested in bringing some sacrament wine to the fall festival in recent tragedy.
Oh man,
in
that fall
town.
festival every year. It's like I get the, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I was,
Well, yes, I've had some bad experiences at the fall festival before.
well, we were there. I mean, we were on the other side of town, but we were there with the Fellhammer Five.
Oh yes, indeed you were. Ugh. I've slept since then. My
Haven't we
apologies.
all?
And I've had a drink or two, if we're being honest.
Haven't we all?
Well, it seems that the distributor that I was going to acquire some ale from, or some wine, sacrament wine, lost his stock in the explosion.
Oh, was that the big
When I came
boom that
to-
happened a few days back?
Indeed.
Oh man, I heard it. It was really loud, very loud.
Well, that's why I'm here, really, is to inquire
Really?
to see if I can track down what happened to what would have been my wine.
A mystery.
Yes, when I made some inquiries, I was given this business card.
Let me see.
To my nose, it smells awfully funny, and
He
something feels off about it.
he kind of takes it. He looks at it. He sniffs. He's like, wait a minute. He kind of turns. He pushes some stuff around. He brings up like some stuff in a bowl, like little black. It's almost like a powder. He smells it. It's like, why would you? That doesn't make any sense. He's like, it looks as though, yes, it's the ink here on these diamonds. It's what we often call bear's foot. It's a powder, you see, and we use it magical components for different things. Why would you use it for plain ink? Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's usually some sort of a enchantment component. I could, he kind of waves his hands and shakes his head. I could detect magic, see if there's anything odd about it.
Oh, if you would be so kind.
No, of course. He looked kind of happy, like he hadn't really thrown a spell in a while. He's like, here we go, here we go. He kind of pushes some stuff off to the side of the counter, lays the card down there, and we'll detect magic. As the spell goes off, suddenly the card itself disappears into a puff of smoke, and there is a sound accompanying it. Whoa. What was that? Did you see that? Did you hear that?
I saw it, but I don't think I know what I saw.
I saw the car disappear in a puff of smoke, and I heard kind of a cackling laugh. What did you see? What did you hear?
Yes, but very sissy sounding kind of cackling laugh, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, of course. It was definitely sissy sound.
Not deep, threatening, menacing.
No, not deep. No, I mean, I would be like, ha, 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 ha. You know, that would be
definitely wouldn't scare me.
I know, right? But I mean,
and that was just on one card. I still have the other one.
Yes, you still have the other one.
Okay.
He says, "I'm sorry, I did not know it was going to make it do that. However, I did detect. Let me see. In the brief moment." There was a slight aura of illusion and evocation that I was able to detect. Which, if I know my stuff, evocation, puff, poof, destruction, puff of smoke. Illusion would be the glamour, the audible sound that would be on it. But as to why, I can only guess at this juncture that any magic cast upon it would cause this to happen.
I'm making some notes myself.
Mm-hmm. And I add another piece of information.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's like, so are you following up on the accident?
Well, I am now. What an odd thing
That's
to give
weird.
the people that you're going to try to procure ale from. This bear's foot. What kind of enchantments could it be used in? What else? Why?
He says a lot of illusion magics, you know, they'll call for like a pinch of sand or something like that. Bear's foot is what they'll use for illusion magic. It's a common component you can find as a part of a component pouch. You know, he can sell it in different quantities and stuff like that. It's just, there's nothing unique about it in and of itself.
Well, I happen to have a second business card here. I think we should probably stray from detecting magic on it any further.
Indeed. But you might want to hang on to that one.
Yes. I assume any other attempts to read it or detect something about it could cause a similar effect.
That's smart. You know, that's what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. Is there any known invisible inks that you're aware of?
Well, there's several. There's some of the most easy stuff, as simple as lemon juice. And then there are more complicated types of formulas.
Pardon me.
There
Would the more complicated formulas involve magic?
Yes, indeed. There are certain alchemies that one can put together, but The more complicated ones are going to be magical. However, if there were any codes written upon it, and spell makes the invisibility, or true seeing would be able to do it, but
Interesting.
in fact, one of the friends I traveled with, Xanthos Stonespire, has a gem of true seeing. He's currently at the Avantgarde Castle. He's been there for quite some time, I might reckon.
Interesting. Well, true seeing is something I'm not unfamiliar with myself.
Yeah.
I may need a couple of tankards of ale and a good night's rest before I attempt any further
Yeah.
detecting on this parchment. But if you had such a parchment in your possession, is there anyone else in town you might recommend might be able to uncover the mystery?
The mystery. Well, if it's a mystery you're looking for, there's obviously Bevier, one of the finest investigators in Glissondale. And I'm pretty sure he's probably already on the case, at least from a city's perspective. He won't be able to go outside the rule of law, if you will. Like we sometimes do. But he'll have
What?
to operate.
Say no more.
Say no more. I said nothing. You heard nothing. But he would be helpful in passing information from one of us to the other. Obviously, there's the Trimblewinds. Some of your fellows are here. One of my colleagues, Durnavir, is also in town. He runs a clinic over on Quarter and Jackson.
Interesting. Well, there's only one place left to go when you're investigating the loss of wine and ale, and that's to the tavern, my friend.
To the tavern. Yes, in fact, I will close up for the day. You don't mind if I join you?
Oh, not at all, not at all.
Yes, I would like to regale some stories of old. It would be good times.
I think for your help, I might buy you a round or 2 or 10.
You know what? I think for my help, I will let you. And with a laugh and a chuckle, you guys can head off to the tavern. And this concludes the Glamour Mountain investigation. Thank you, Bran, for being a part of this action. This is part 1. We will get back to the online and find out what your next move will be from here, as there is another investigation that is happening almost simultaneously, probably just a little bit earlier than this one, and that episode is coming up Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. So everybody watch for that one as they investigate the explosion at the warehouse remains. But,
yes, that will be interesting.
So, we look forward to seeing everybody on the next stream, and we thank everybody for watching on this one, and hope you enjoyed it. And with that, we are going to say adieu. Thanks, everybody.